I believe most of you are familiar with the concept of reincarnation. You know, the popular Eastern philosophy that talks about the cycle of birth and death. And in case you're wondering why I opened this up, I just remembered a modern-day reincarnation that took place in the NBA some 11 years back. At the 2009 NBA draft, the Warriors selected this baby-faced, scrawny kid out of Davidson University named Steph Curry. Later that year, the glorious franchise of the Los Angeles Lakers won their last championship of the decade under the watch of the legendary Kobe Bryant. For me, this moment in NBA history was the reincarnation that I just talked about, an end of an era and the dawn of a new one. This transition phase not only signified the passing of the torch from one legendary bucket getter to another, but also coincidentally marked the end of the methodical half-court set era, which is then supplemented by the fast-paced, pick-and-roll heavy offensive philosophy that is centered on outside shooting. Case in point, the undeniable reincarnation was evident here once again. The Mamba was the face of the old NBA, while Curry bannered the next generation of great players as the face of the three-point revolution. Though the other one represents innovative growth while the other represents a steady decline, it doesn't mean that these two gentlemen shared nothing in common. Aside from being absolute lethal scorers, both of them struggled when they were young.
And the MVP, everything went for him this year, not tonight. After three, Memphis leads by 50. Will
backs it out straight away to Kobe Bryant. Bryant for three. It's short again. Air ball.
However, both worked their way up to become perennial all-stars, won the MVP award at least once in their respective careers, and finally, both Kobe and Steph became part of two versions of super teams, which resulted in hoisting multiple championships. On the bad side of things, these two players would also share the same misfortune when things didn't go well as far as their physical state is concerned.
Barry Neal dribbling off his leg.
Oh my goodness.
Steph Curry hurt himself again.
Ankle coming out of the pack.
Curry had a long history of ankle injuries that dated back to 2010. Meanwhile, 3 years later,
he's going to stay down there for a bit.
It's time to massage that left ankle a little bit.
Kobe rolled off his ankle too. And can you guess which team he was facing when this happened? Yep, it was against Steph's Warriors. Call it a coincidence or not, I think there's more than meets the eye when we talk about Kobe and Steph's intertwining legacies. Kobe was in the NBA long enough to witness its evolution throughout the years. He entered the NBA as the 13th pick in 1996 and was originally drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, but later got swapped for Vlade Divac in a blockbuster deal that can be considered as the biggest highway robbery in the history of the NBA. Around this time, Steph Curry's father, Del Curry, was entering his 9th season as a member of the Charlotte Hornets. And if it weren't for that trade, Kobe and Del Curry could have actually been teammates. Just imagine what Kobe could have brought to the table for the young Steph in terms of his relentless drive and passion for the game. Speaking of Steph, he was just 6 years old when Kobe got drafted in 1996. Though Kobe and Steph's dad were not able to team up in Charlotte, the Mamba fondly remembered the moments he saw little Steph hanging around the court during pre-game shoot-arounds in an interview with Craig Sager in his last All-Star game back in 2016. It's crazy, man. I brought my daughter to practice yesterday, and by my third All-Star game, he was about the same age my daughter is now, which was 9 years old. You know, so it's a trip. Like I said, it's a huge blessing to be able to be here and have competed against his father and see what he's become and how he's developed. When Craig Sager asked Steph how it felt to share the court with Kobe Bryant for his final All-Star game, the chef was just all praise for the things that Kobe has done for the game of basketball. This is amazing. When you talked about how he means to the game as a young guy watching him throughout his career and all he's accomplished to be part of his last run in All-Star, all the fans, players honoring him and all the things he's done for the game, it's in a much better place and we're thankful for that. Kobe was not the only one who has a clear recollection of their early encounters. In fact, Steph shared in an interview about his first time matching up with Kobe inside the NBA hardwood. One of my first preseason games down at the Forum my rookie year. We played against him, and I got switched onto him in an ISO situation. I'm scrawny, 170-pound rookie coming in, and the look he gave me was so damn disrespectful. It was crazy. That was kind of my welcome to the league moment, and from there to the shot in preseason, probably 3 or 4 years later, he gave me a little pat on the ass after I hit him with a 30-footer.
I didn't put it on the show, but he's really lighting it up. And Price is 3 for 4. Other than that, I don't think anybody's at 50.
I tried not to have a reaction there because I was in the moment, but after, I was like, damn, that was pretty cool because Kobe doesn't usually show that type of emotion to anyone. We can see here that familiar Mamba mentality that Kobe always had. He didn't care whether you're a seasoned vet or just a rookie, because at the end of the day, Kobe is always going to set the bar high and he'll bring out the best in you in the process. In another classic Kobe story, Steph also shared the time when he tried to get into his head to throw him off his game, back when he was still a rookie during the closing moments of one of their regular season matchups. Our rookie year, we were playing at Oracle, and they had a 3-point lead down the stretch. He got fouled, going to the free throw line to ice the game with 2 free throws. As he's walking from one end of the court to the other, I'm this rookie that's kind of living in the moment, and I walk up to him as he's walking to the free throw line. And I say, hey man, you nervous about these free throws? I didn't know what Curry was thinking there, but trash talking to Mamba when the game is on the line is the last thing you should ever do. I believe Curry didn't get the memo. He was still a young rookie back then, but still, this is just one of those episodes that proved Kobe's killer instincts is second to none. Steph also added that Kobe was the Michael Jordan of his generation, and most players in the generation got a thing or two from Kobe and even patterned their game to the late Laker legend. He was our generation's Jordan in terms of iconic moves, ISO stuff, fadeaways, game winners. Something about his name even rolls off the tongue nice when you're counting down 3, 2, 1. You yell Kobe when you knock it down. Kobe, on the other hand, returned the favor to Steph when he analyzed and broke down his game in his Detail series. During his in-depth breakdown about Steph's game, Kobe said that the main reason why Steph is so deadly on the court is because of his ability to be locked in at the present moment. I see a calmness about him, and I think that it's something that a lot of players don't understand. I think it's really hard for the fans to understand what I'm saying because most players don't get it. But there's a real, serious calmness about him which is extremely deadly because he's not up, he's not down, he's not contemplating what just happened before or worrying what's about to come next. The Mamba also added that it's going to be hard for other teams to stop Curry when he combines this calmness together with his impressive ball handling and shooting prowess. He's just there, and when a player has the skills and has trained himself to have the skills to be able to shoot, dribble, left, right, etc., and then you mix that with his calmness and poise, then you have a serious, serious problem on your hands. And so when I watch them play, that's what I see. In a separate interview, Kobe also singled out the Splash Brothers for channeling the Mamba mentality that he has always been preaching. Kobe said that both Klay and Steph will always go for the jugular and don't hesitate to deliver the coup de grace, regardless of the game situation. There's several of them, I think, out there right now that approach the game extremely, extremely seriously. Klay and Steph seem very calm and nice guys, but those guys are stone cold killers. They don't care about what you think of them. They don't care about if they make a game-winning shot or if they miss it. They're out there to do their job, and they have a strong sense of the killer instinct. The sad news about Kobe's tragic death along with his daughter Gianna in 2020 sent ripples through the NBA community and the world. Steph Curry was one of those who received the unfortunate news while going into practice. In an interview, Steph would tell his experience on that particular day learning about Kobe's unexpected demise. I'll remember that day for the rest of my life. I was coming back from injury, but I got to participate in practices that day. On the sidelines, you could see the body language change immediately. Practice just kind of came to a halt. A lot of reflection, sadness, an overwhelming moment for sure. You didn't want to think it was true. It was a tough day for the whole world, for the whole basketball world. Kobe's death was indeed shocking for all of us and has emotionally affected millions of people around the world, and especially for NBA players like Steph. But despite that, Steph never forgot the valuable lessons that he learned and the memories that he shared with Kobe during their on-court battles. and he would always pay tribute to the Mamba whenever the opportunity arose. The mutual respect between these two Hall of Famers just simply acknowledges how good they are at their craft. Though we didn't see Kobe and Steph clash heads during their prime, we were fortunate enough to be treated with a couple of great games coming from both players when they shared a court between 2009 and 2016. Right after Kobe's departure, Steph quickly began his ascent to the top, having won back-to-back MVPs and championships along the way. In retrospect, this was kind of the exact path that Kobe took on his MVP season and back-to-back titles in LA, and it seems that the cycle that I have been telling since the start of the video has manifested yet again, but this time around, I believe the reincarnation has finally gone to its full circle. The story of Steph and Kobe is not one of those highly sensationalized stories that are closely followed or being flocked at on social media, but it is one of those under-the-radar narratives that are full of appreciation, admiration, and ultimate respect. Rest easy, Mamba. Moving on to a different topic, did you know that now more than ever, NBA records are being smashed? In the 2021 playoffs alone, countless records have been smashed to bits, and it is insane. I've actually got the video for you right here where you can check it out. KD broke some records, Lillard broke some. Gosh, guys, breaking records these days is like taking candy from a baby. Anyways, click the video, guys, watch it, enjoy it, and I will see you on the other side.